You ever found it strange that some people just will not live in a house that adds up to 4, or they don't want a number 4 in their lives in certain ways? It's a little bit unfair on people whose, say, numerology adds up to 4, or they're born on the 4th of a day. But there is a particular reason as to why this happens. Now, in Asian cultures, it's fairly simple because the word for 4 in certain cultures also associates to the word for death, and therefore they don't like that. And therefore they like the number 8 because that represents the same word as prosperity or wealth. So these things are fairly easy and clear cut. But for the average person, a 4 can be quite an interesting thing, unless you have a lot of strong 4s in your numerology, or for inverted commas, you're, say, an Aquarian or highly Uranian by nature. Then 4 can be an interesting number because, like typically of Uranian type of energies, 4 represents a form of disruption. It's best described as this. People living, say, for example, in a house that adds up to 4, that can be 4, 13, 67, 31, 13, that type of thing. Any combination, you add the numbers together and you end up with a number 4. What I've found and experienced over the years is that these particular houses tend to harbour what I would call an amplification of energy. Okay, so therefore, like anything, Uranus is a planet of extremes. So in other words, if someone's happy, they're really, really happy. If they get sick, they're very, very sick. If they have something, some other sort of trauma, it's usually super traumatic. The person who is, oh my God, they're surrounded by drama, but the dramas are always over the top, that type of thing, rather than just be a drama to deal with. This is the situation and the energy with the number 4. 4 is very Uranian. 4 amplifies whatever actually is happening. And that's what people often say, no, I won't live in a place, or I've had a bad experience or anything like that. Doesn't happen with everybody, because some people's energies associate very well with the number 4. But for those who don't, and it's fairly easy to determine which ones, those are usually the ones that don't have any 4s in their numerology and are not highly Uranian, then living in a 4 house can be quite an interesting experience. Another example of that might be, what if it's an old place? What if it's got a history of spiritual, deaths in the house or anything like that? You might find that there's a high lot of spiritual activity in there, heightened more than others. Have a look at some of I can't remember which of the houses. There were 2 houses which are in the most haunted group of houses in the world, and people still go to investigate. And I remember talking to Amy from Amy's Crypt and Jared, and at some stage when they came to visit, and we were talking about, and they went to 2 different locations in the US, and the address of those houses were 805 or 508. And they both had the same number, and they were both very haunted houses. Something to think about. Hit your comments below. Tell me your experiences, and we can chat through it. All the best.